Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a tag video. I was actually tagged by Liv Loves Her Makeup here on YouTube. I will link her channel down below, but I just loved this idea of doing a full face using only samples. So I went through the samples that I have on hand. Typically when I get like packet type samples, I usually get rid of them right away. I'll like include them in the prize boxes when I send off giveaway prizes, or you know, I'll bring them to friends and family along with a whole bunch of other products I'm purging. But I usually just kind of get rid of them. I don't typically like using samples from packets. So when she tagged me, I was like, oh, I hope I have enough to do this tag because it seems like a fun thing to do. Or I did go through and find enough samples to make this happen. Now for a few products, I did have to use deluxe size samples, like for this blush. I didn't have any packet sizes for blush. And then obviously for like eye pencils, this is a sample size of the Makeup Forever one. But mostly everything is like foil packets or like cards like this. So we're gonna see how this goes. I am really excited but a little bit nervous as well. I'm just running errands today, so I guess it's a good thing. Although I am going to be going to all my kids' schools today and I have to take them to the dentist, and so I will be seeing people. So hopefully this turns out all right. So I'm actually going to start out with a facial serum. This is actually called the Body Shop Drops of Youth Concentrate. So I don't know necessarily that it's a serum, but it was the closest thing I had to a serum, so I always like prepping the skin with a facial serum before going in with a moisturizer. And I've never tried this before, so we'll see. I hope it's not too thick. Oh good, yeah, it's nice and thin, so it does feel very much texture-wise like a facial serum. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. Oh, it smells nice. Oh wow, that smells really good. Just like really fresh kind of a scent, but I like it. There was a lot in there, so I'm gonna take it all the way down my neck as well. Next, I'm going to apply a facial moisturizer, and this one is from Fresh. This is the Lotus Youth Reserve Face Cream. I'm hoping this isn't too thick for my skin type because I do have combo to oily skin. But I've never tried anything from the Lotus line before. I love Fresh, and it is a line that we carry at my store. There was a lot in that packet too. There's a lot more in these packets than I was expecting. I guess I never use them because I'm always like, oh, there's not really going to be enough to use it. But honestly, there's enough in these so far to use it more than one time. It smells like cucumber. I have tried this in the store before, like on my hand, but I've never actually applied it on my face. So we'll see. And then to my neck, it actually is pretty quick absorbing. It doesn't feel like super greasy or anything. So the next thing I'm going to apply is a facial primer. And the one that I found is actually from YSL. This is called the Forever Light Creator CC Primer, and it has sunscreen in it. It says rose, so I'm assuming it's a rose scented primer. So that is what that looks. I actually haven't tried that many products from YSL before. I haven't tried this though. So it has like a really peachy pink tint to it. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it'd be more clear, so I'm gonna dot that on and then blend that out. Oh my goodness. It has a nice rose scent. That has a lot more color than I was expecting. And by the way, I don't have a mirror right in front of me. I've got one to the side here if I end up needing it later, but for now I'm just using my viewfinder. So if I'm looking a lot over there, just making sure everything's blending. It is rolling up a little bit. I don't think that primer liked the moisturizer very much. So I'm just gonna make sure I get it all smoothed out. My skin, by the way, has been freaking out recently. It's, I was using this face cream at night that was too heavy for my skin, so I stopped using it because I started getting all these little breakouts, and then I did a few treatments for helping to clear up the breakouts, and now my skin is all dry and rough and has texture, so it's like I overcorrected. So anyways, I've been doing a lot of hydrating treatments now, trying to bring it back. So yeah, this is balling up super bad. I don't know if it's the primer or if it's just the primer reacting to the moisturizer, but I'm gonna grab a tissue to blot off that. Okay, so I got all of the bally stuff off. I just kind of wiped away the excess, but I think I don't like that primer. I mean, I can't say that for sure because I haven't tried it with maybe with a different moisturizer it would react better, but it just seemed like really, really thick, and it just wanted to kind of like roll up on top of my skin. So anyway, okay, so The next thing for foundation, I have two different options here for foundation. The Makeup Forever, I've got a little sample packet here with a few different shade options. And then the other thing I have is this foil sample of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. Now I've been wanting to try this for a long time. The only thing is I can't see on here what shade it is. I don't see it anywhere, so I'm gonna try to use this one, but if the shade is just way too dark, then I'm gonna have to use the HD one. I have tried the HD foundation before and I don't like it. There are also a couple concealers in here, which I am going to use as my concealer for sure, because that's the only concealer I could find. So I tested some of the foundation on the back of my hand. It's definitely too dark for me, the Giorgio Armani one. I'm going to try popping open the HD ones to see if I can do those instead. That's the only thing about using samples for something like foundation and concealer. You know, they can't give you every single shade in the sample pack, so... All right, it's Y225, by the way, is the lighter shade that's in here. Yep, that's good. I'm gonna dot that on and then I'll grab a foundation brush to blend it out. Wow, they give you a pretty good amount of stuff in these little guys, don't they? It's kind of actually a little eye-opening because I don't think I've ever tried opening a packet sample to use before. When I get deluxe samples, I definitely use them. I'm kind of putting a lot on, but I don't like the coverage of this. Anyways, yeah, when I get the deluxe samples, I always use those, like, for sure. I love deluxe samples, but the little packets, I just never use them. I think that's why this challenge sounded so interesting to me. I was like, you know, I never actually used those before. I wonder if I could make a full face with packet samples, foil samples. Now, obviously not everything. There are some things that I had to grab some deluxe samples for. I couldn't find any packets for eyeshadows either. I was hoping I might have some, but I didn't. So like I said, I've used this foundation before. I don't love this foundation. I actually gave my bottle that I had away to my sister. I think it's great for dry skin though, and since my skin is kind of drier right now, I'm hoping it'll be okay for today. It's blending out not too bad, but as you can see, it's definitely not full coverage. Like, I have some like red marks right here from some dryness that are definitely showing through, and yeah, the redness around my nose. I'm a glasses wearer, so I always get this red mark right here, and it definitely didn't cover much of that. But the shade actually is pretty good. Not too shabby at all. You know, I might use that liquid foundation as a bronzer because I don't have a bronzer. Okay, I'm just gonna dot a tiny bit more foundation around my nose because I feel like my nose just is way too sheer right now. I think I'm gonna use a little bit of the Giorgio Armani foundation to bronze before I set everything because I don't have a bronzer. And I'm hoping this works. I'm just using my finger and then I'll blend it with a brush in a second. Cause yeah, like I said, I couldn't find a bronzer. I did find a blush, like a deluxe size sample blush and highlight, but I couldn't find any bronzers, so I don't think that's too bad. I mean, considering it's a foundation. Okay, so now I'm gonna break open the concealers. They gave me two shades. They gave me Y23 or R20. I think I'm gonna go with the Y23, which is more yellow based. I forgot how little you need of this guy. I think I put way too much on, but that's okay. I'll make it work. I think I need to grab a beauty blender now because I just put so much on. So anyway, as I'm doing this, I wanted to chat with you guys a little bit. I was actually thinking about just doing a video, like just a chatty kind of catch-up kind of video, but I thought I could just talk to you guys while I'm doing this. But anyway, basically I just wanted to tell you guys that I have been, you know, working more hours. I think I mentioned it in a video before. I definitely talk to you guys about it on Snapchat all the time. So if you didn't know, I do work at Sephora inside JCPenney, and I used to work part-time. I used to just work about 15 hours a week, but now that my daughter's in preschool, my youngest, and my other two are in school, obviously, I had a lot more free time. Not really free time, but I did have a less, I had less kid time, so I figured, you know, I could start working more. So I did go full-time recently, and since I've done that, I've been feeling a little bit more like I can't keep up on my comments. It's not because I don't love responding to comments, but I just honestly, the little bit of free time that I do have, I am trying really hard to be more like focused with my kids and be more like present and in the moment and not attached to my phone all the time. And it's tough because I guess I'm just trying to find a balance between it. It's not that I don't ever comment to YouTube videos. You guys will see if you go through my videos. I definitely do still comment, but I don't comment or reply to every comment anymore like I used to. And that's been hard for me. Like, I definitely had some guilt with that. I'm like, you know, I remember before I started making videos, or even like in the beginning of my channel when I didn't get very many comments, I might get like 10 comments a week or something like that. I remember kind of being a little judgy and thinking some of the other girls who made videos were rude for not responding to all their comments. Like, oh, those people are the ones watching your videos. That's what's, you know, they're the ones supporting you. You should respond to them and acknowledge them. But you get to a point where you're like, it really does become too time consuming. And it's not that I don't enjoy reading your comments and I don't enjoy replying to them, because I absolutely do, and I read most of them, but I can't reply to all of them anymore. And I hope you guys understand that. It just gets to a point where it's like, you know, if I have 10 minutes of free time, I want to sit down and play a board game with my kids. And if I'm constantly scrolling through my phone trying to respond to as many comments as I can, that takes away my time with my children. And I have 3 kids, and I'm working full time, and I'm still doing this YouTube part time. So I just have to prioritize. And to me, it's more important to spend time with my children and to get the videos and the content up for you guys, rather than replying to all the comments. So if I don't reply to your comment, please don't be offended. I really do love you guys so much, and I really do appreciate all your support, but I just don't have time like I used to reply to everybody. I am going to use this pinkish toned eyeshadow from this Lancome. This is the color design. It's basically just a little sample eyeshadow kit. That's going to be my eyeshadow look today, but I'm going to use the pinkish light tone right there to set my whole eyelid real quick. So anyway, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say there. And I'm really not trying to be rude, and I'm not trying to like offend anybody. It's just the way that it is, you know? I'm a mom, and my kids are growing up so fast. Like, any of your moms out there understand what I'm saying. Like, my oldest daughter is going to be starting high school next year. I cannot even believe that. And then my baby, my little baby Lexi, is starting kindergarten. So, and then Kira, of course, she's heading into 4th grade, and she actually got accepted into the high cap program. So basically it's like an advanced placement class. So you have all these really exciting things happening next year, and I'm just trying to be more present with them. All right, since I didn't have any samples for powder, I'm just gonna set my face with the HD powder from Makeup Forever. Might as well, since I did HD everything else. So yeah, I'm really proud of all my kids, and I'm really excited for next year. It's gonna be a year of change for sure. Lexi's not gonna be at home as much. She is in preschool right now, so it's not like a huge difference, but her preschool is only 3 hours a day, Monday through Thursday, and kindergarten is full-time, so it's just like all the other kids. So she's there Monday through Friday for like, what, 5 or 6 hours. It's definitely gonna be exciting to see them all kind of venture out a little bit more and not need me as much, but it's also a little heartbreaking as a mom to see them, you know, get more independent. All right, next I'm gonna apply a little bit of blush, and this is the Becca Mineral Blush in Flower Child. It's just a little sample size, deluxe sample. I love these Becca blushes. The formula is so gorgeous. Since I didn't really have much bronzer, I used that foundation a little bit, but I feel like it disappeared. Need some color on my cheeks. And then for a highlighter, I did find a little deluxe sample of the Josie Maran Argan Enlightenment Illuminizing Veil. This is a beautiful highlighter, by the way. I feel like nobody talks about this, but it's really good. I should have mentioned this in that video, but I only have it in a sample size. So stunning though. I love using this on more mature clients' skin because it's so subtle, and when they come in wanting a highlight but not wanting it to be like strobing, this is like one of my favorite options. It's so beautiful. If you haven't tried it, definitely try it. It also comes in a cream version and a liquid version if you prefer it. Okay, next, let's do eyebrows. So for eyebrows, I have this little Benefit eyebrow kit. I don't even know what's inside here. Let's see. Okay, so, it's the Ka-Brow. And it came with 2 shades, shade number 1 or shade number 2. I'll try shade 1 first, and if it's not dark enough, I can build it up with shade 2. And it did come with a little applicator brush as well, so I'll definitely use that. And the Cut Brow is similar to like the Anastasia Dip Brow. Well, I'm gonna have to use shade number 2 because it looks like shade number 1 is dried out. I tried to put the brush in there and no product is coming up. So we're gonna use shade number 2, which is more of a cool undertone anyway, so I feel like that would be better. Shade number 1 was a lot more warm. Let's do this. I don't like using pomade style brow products, but I think I can make it work. I just feel like they look so harsh, and I always like to go more soft and natural with my brows. Oh man, this is gonna be so intense. I hope you guys can see. I'm trying to use my mirror right here. Oh wow, this is gonna be intense. Why I don't like pomades. I'm really not good at working with them either, to be honest, because I just don't use them. I use the pencils usually. I like the micro pencils. So when clients come in and want like a brow mini makeover or like a full-on makeover, I pretty much always just grab the pencils unless they specifically request a pomade, because I hate using the pomades, to be very honest with you guys. So I'm gonna try to see if I can pick up this lighter shade. Yeah, there we go. I got a little bit of the lighter shade and I'm gonna mix that with the darker shade for the first half of my brow to soften it up a bit more, because that was getting really harsh looking. And I feel like with brows, the type of product you use is so personal. That's one of those things where it's like, what is your preference? Do you like pomade? Do you like pencil? Do you like a powder? What do you like working with more than the look of it? I feel like I look a little cray-cray right now. I'm not loving the way this is coming together. Filled in my eyebrows, by the way, since I was in high school, because I've always had really, really sparse, this is what my brows have always looked like. Super sparse, super blonde, where it looks like I'm missing half my eyebrow. So I've always filled them in, even when it wasn't like the cool thing to do to fill in your brows. I've always filled them in. So after I film this, if I have time, because I have to pick up my daughter from preschool here not too long from now. If I have time, I'm planning to film a drugstore anti-haul, because I've done a couple anti-hauls in the past, but both of them have been more like high-end. I haven't really touched on drugstore items, and I feel like a lot of the times with the drugstore products, it's easy to get carried away and try to buy like everything you see, because it's so much more affordable that you're like, oh, it's such a great deal, but it's not always a great deal if it's something you're not actually gonna use. Like, you're still wasting money, you know? Yeah, definitely not my cup of tea. I will not be purchasing this guy for sure. I feel like my brows look almost like they did in my No Mirror Makeup challenge. All right, that's as good as it's gonna get. Yeah, like I said, it is not my favorite for brows, but there we go, they're on. All right, so I'm gonna move on to try to create an eye look with this little palette here. So this is that Lancome little sample palette I told you guys about. There's only 4 shades in here, so there's really no blending shade in here, and I didn't have a travel bronzer either. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my finger to put this pinky peach shade. This is like one of my favorite shades. I love this shade. I'm just gonna put that all over my eyelid. By the way, I have decluttered this little palette, but it was still in my stash of stuff to give away, so I grabbed it because it was the only travel size eyeshadow or sample size eyeshadow that I could find. So, but I almost kept this palette. I had kept it in previous declutters several times, and I almost kept it this time around just because of this shade. I love this shade, but I kept feeling like I was never reaching for it because the rest of the palette was not really anything that I would use. I feel like I'm getting a little crazy looking here. So next what I'm gonna do is take this taupey kind of, see, these colors don't go together very well, which is why I got rid of this palette, but I'm gonna take that taupey color that has like a gold glitter worked through it, and I'm gonna blend that on my outer corner and into my crease, and hopefully this will work as a blending shade. It just got super gray outside. Great. There goes all of my lighting. Sorry, you guys. Trying to utilize the sunshine whenever we have a little bit here, but we rarely have any, and when we do, it's like 10 minutes of sun and then it starts raining. It's so annoying. So anyway, this is going to be a very interesting look here. My goodness. Bet you guys have never seen this look before. I don't know who picked the color combination for this eyeshadow palette, but I just do not feel like these shades go together. Like, I don't get it. Like, look at those colors. They don't make sense together to me. But we're gonna go with it and we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Actually, it'd be kind of funny if I filmed that other video after this and I kept this look exactly as is without fixing anything. You guys would be like, Lisa, what is going on with your makeup today? Yeah, these are not working together very nicely, but it's what I got. So I have also been thinking about filming another live video. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. It would probably be a pretty casual, like a Q&A style is what I was thinking. When it starts to get dark, my camera does not want to focus. So if my camera keeps going out of focus, that is why. I'm gonna take that same shade and run it on my lower lash line. Okay, and now that I have that kind of down, I think what I'm gonna do is take a little tiny bit of this sparkly black just on the outer V, just to add a little bit more definition and depth to this very crazy looking eye look. And then I'm gonna run it just on the if I could talk, outer corner of my lower lid as well. It's not too bad. I mean, it's not something I would typically put together, but it didn't turn out too bad. I think once I put the liner and mascara on, it'll pull it together. So I'm gonna go kind of smoky with this liner. I'm not doing a winged liner since I only have a pencil liner, but this is the Makeup Forever Aqua XL Pencil in Black. And this was like a little free sample guy. All right, so I'm just gonna line my lower lash line and my upper lash line. So that's kind of how the eye look turned out. I really struggled with this liner. I had to really work with it. That's why I was off camera doing it. It was super dry and it drug really hard on my lash line. So I had to like keep going over it till I got it to work right. So I don't know if it's just because it's the sample. Like, I feel like I usually like the Makeup Forever liners. I think maybe it's a sample, the sample got a little dried out or something. I'm not sure. I don't feel like I've had that sample very long, but whatever. All right, I'm not hating this eye look. I think it looks actually kind of cool. Not something I would typically put together, which is kind of the fun part of doing a video like this, is that you try new things. But next, for mascara, I have this sample here from Clinique. This is called the Lash Power Flutter to Full Mascara. So it's a two-sided thing. It just literally looks like two different mascaras in one tube. And I'm not sure which side you're supposed to use first. It doesn't really say. So let's just try it. It says it's Flutter to Full, so maybe it has you do like a lengthening mascara first and then use a volumizing mascara over it, which I always like layering my mascaras to achieve that effect. So it's kind of what this sounds like. The idea behind this is. This side first looks like the lengthening side to me because it's not giving me much volume. It's just kind of, it's not giving me much length either. It's just kind of coating my lashes and separating them. Moving on to the other side, and it's getting so dark in here. I'm sorry, you guys. I think I'm gonna use this one for my lower lash line because I hardly have any lashes. I like to use something more lengthening for those lashes. Otherwise, they start to look clumpy really fast. And wow, it's got dark in here. Okay, and now I'm gonna use the other side of this mascara and see how it works together the way you're supposed to. Oh wow, kind of cool actually. I'm kind of liking this mascara. So as long as it doesn't transfer or flake on me throughout the day, this is definitely something I would consider purchasing. Of everything I've tried so far, it's like the only thing that I'm like, ooh, I like that. So, if you guys have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see me do in the next few weeks, please let me know. I definitely have some really exciting stuff coming up that I don't want to announce yet. I kind of want to surprise you with some of the ones I have coming up, but I definitely always love hearing from you guys what you guys want to see, and it definitely helps me to come up with some new ideas. Not too bad at all. So, that's it for the eye look. What do you guys think? Kind of different? And then we have lips to do real quick. So I do have a little packet here of a lipstick. This is from Givenchy, and it is the La Rouge lipstick in Rose Dressing. It's just a little packet. I couldn't find any lip balm, so I'm not gonna do a balm treatment. I'm just gonna use my fingers to apply this, I think. It's almost like a kind of warm toned rose. Goes pretty well with the eye look, I think, as far as colors and everything. All right, and then the very last step, I have some lip gloss here to apply over the top of this. This is from Dior. It's the Backstage Pros lip gloss. I have 2 shades here. 01 Pink and, oh, they both say 01 Pink, but they don't look the same. This one looks lighter and this one looks a little darker. I think I'm gonna go with the darker one. And they also give you a little tiny baby brush to apply it. It's a cute little brush, actually. I like that little brush. So I'm just gonna apply a tiny bit of this just in the center of my lips. Okay, so that is the completed look, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little get ready with me all sample face. What do you guys think? Do you like how it turned out? I think it's not too bad. I don't like my eyebrows. I think the complexion is not too bad. I wish I had a bronzer on. But overall, I think it's pretty good. So anyways, as I said, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, leave them down below. I'd be happy to answer as many as I can. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!